Hi, you are listening to the Father Support Network podcast. This podcast is for single fathers and fathers in general. On this podcast, we educate, inform, guide, encourage, and help fathers navigate the complex challenges of maintaining contact and healthy relationships with their children after separation or divorce. Your host is Dr. Michael Nwankpa. Michael Nwankpa is a father of three who successfully fought for the right of his children to have their father in their lives.
Wow, this is a nice day, a nice break from the previous days where we've had emergency rain. I mean, the other day it was drenched with the kids coming from school. I was so unprepared for it. I was caught off guard. Anyways, let's enjoy the sun and try to catch some fun while we can. I just want to quickly address some disturbing video clips that I saw the other day. It was a group of women in a city, in a major city in Nigeria called Port Harcourt, River State, that were welcoming their newest members of divorcee and the parties. But I've heard about this stuff. But this first time kind of like seeing it, where ladies are actually throwing parties for getting divorced, and it's now a member club. Wow, listen, we are in a crisis. And I used to joke to one of my buddy back in the days. I used to say, there's going to come a time where the government is going to declare an emergency. We had it in Japan. I think it was in Japan. I think in the Scandinavian, they were giving incentives for people to actually date and have kids and have babies, because we see in the Western world, in Europe for instance, we see like it's an aging population. People are not having babies. And it was a surprise like this. But let's focus on Africa and see. Sometimes we look at that place and say it's much more patriarchal society, but it's changing. It's changing. Women are having. I think it's not even a silent revolution now. I don't know what to call it. Is it a revolution? I don't even know what it is, because there are places in Africa where women have a fair treatment. So you go to Rwanda, for instance, like 50 or 60% of its parliament, or in South Africa, are women. But places like Nigeria, it's still women don't have enough power. Women don't have enough level. Women don't have enough space. And I for one, I'm the kind of person that supports meritocracy. But what I will also say, there's room for women to perform and bring their skills and expertise in, and we should create room for women in that instance. I don't support that. So but back to this matter at hand. What is going on, women? Women want to have fun. There's nothing wrong with it. Women have fun. Women like to have fun, and I think that's why women live longer, outlive men, because I used to say, if a woman and a man, I mean, just average men, I'm talking about standard now, win a million bands. I'm telling you, a man is thinking about what a vest, I want to beat ass, I want to do. A woman is thinking about holiday, travel, spa, and all of that. That will elongate her life. That's what women listen. Women enjoy. Women know how to enjoy, and I don't blame women on the soft life. But I think where the danger lies is when we get into relationship. There are relationships where it's abusive, and I say to people, in as much as I support families, support the unity, the units, family unit is called Mario. But even though a lot of people might look at me, I'm a single, but I'm not in any relationship. People might look at me and say, "Oh, you're not a good ambassador to talk about it." But I grew up in a home where my dad and mom were married for over 50 years. It's a beautiful thing when someone genuinely loves you, and someone has genuine interest, and when they take those vows, they mean it. better for worse. I'm not saying they're not difficult. They're difficult times. Mom didn't leave. My dad was it was a traditional. My dad was the provider. My mom was what I took care of the home. But she also handled business. Don't get it twisted. She was at home, take care of us, but she handled business at the home front. She had things at the home front that she could do. She at one point mom had we did farming. My mom had my mom did tailoring. My mom handled the bakery, like distributing bread at the at some level. So, but I got to a time that things were difficult, as in every relationship, every family, and mom rose up to the task, and never once did you say, this is difficult now, man. I'm jaying up. My mom is beautiful. Don't play. Look at me. I'm a product of of my dad and mom. Even when mom had my mom had loads of children, even when I had like 10 kids, men were still coming for her. That's to tell you how beautiful she was. And as I'm saying to you, never once did she think, I'm going to go and cheat, I'm going to go have a better life or whatever it is. There were many people coming for mom that had money. So I'm saying there's a part of it where women these days can't even be able to think. And I say it goes back to the intentions. People don't respect vows. People take these vows and don't respect it. And that when it leads to issue, a little difficulty springs up in relationship, women pack their. Some people just get bored. They get bored and they want to go and just have fun. The mind is working hard and but women want to have. Listen, people don't know this. I'm a man of experience. Women like fun. They want to go out. They want to travel. They want to go on holidays. And the man is saving up for the family. Women just want to go on holiday. And when the woman gets into this relationship, this monogamous relationship, and then he's like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm just here looking up the babies. I just have fun. And then the sad story I was watching was of a woman that just got bored and just divorced the husband. The husband was working and they were well to do. Then after he went to the streets, he, had a couple of days, but got tired and now looking for what she left. So, but there should be a balance, men. There should be a balance as well. Don't just be like, I tell someone close to me and say, go on holiday, man. Take once in a quarter. Maybe you just have a compromise. The woman wants to go every day, wants to go every weekend. Have a compromise. Go every quarter. Maybe every twice in a year, even once in a year. But I tell you, I kid you, I'll tell you what it is. The women of those days, my mom. And this might be a bit controversial. They didn't have a lot of, they didn't have experience. My mom was a virgin. Most of these women were virgins, and they married us, but they didn't have nothing to want to go back to. But I'll tell you, in this day and age, what's going on. I recently heard the story of the Nigerian couple. The lady that cheated on her husband has been sent home. But there's another story of another Nigerian celebrity that the wife was sleeping with another Nigerian celebrity. So listen, once a woman has been on the street, has had golf boyfriends, have had lovers, usually women don't even marry. The people women marry are not the people they love, are not the people they really, really want to marry. It's the people that will accept them. So that's why I say it's very difficult. I say, listen, when you marry and then you crave some of the things you've experienced before, it's difficult to pair bond. You think about what your ex that you really truly really love, that has taken you to cloud nine. This man can take you there. But I don't know, why do we go into these things with deception? But what my focus is, when we celebrate this divorce and we're throwing parties, do we think about the kids in these families? But at least we say we're having kids. Nigeria, Africa is populated. Africa has a big population, but it's getting to the point where men are coming to the point that I don't want to marry, I don't have kids. It's gradually taking. Hey, people. I see people like you go on a date inside. You see people in their 40s. They don't have kids, and they're looking for kids. Sometimes I'm open to kids. I want kids. I don't have kids. So among the black races that have kids, but it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point where we might start having. Now Africa has the youngest population, but I'm saying if it continues this way, you get to the point where people don't even marry, where people don't trust relationship again, where people feel this is a crisis that we need to deal with. But I don't know. I say it was Mary J. Let's say good guys in for bad boys in good. It just has to be a balance. Man, I'm just talking to the men as well. You don't have to be too hard on the women. Find a balance. And be a good bad guy then. Be a good guy. But it's hard. It's hard pleasing. It might be too hard pleasing a woman today because it's difficult. Like I said, a woman has tasted so many. When a woman has tasted of being around the block, it's hard to please. It's hard to please these women. And some of these women these days, we live in a world where it's too free. There's too much freedom. There's too much sexual freedom. There's too much hookup culture, and then we come to a place you want to now settle. Now you think, now find Jesus. They want to announce me, I find Jesus, you go to church, I'm not celibate, and then you're able to use your manipulative way to get a man. And then after getting that man, then after 1 or 2 years, or even less, you're getting bored. You craving the street again like sugar. And then you have all of this situation. And then by then you've got kids and a family, and then the kids suffer. Let's think twice. Let's stop being selfish. If you want to have fun, nothing wrong with it. Go and have fun. Even back in those days when it was very traditional, we didn't have this freedom. There were women that weren't marrying because you were like 18 and you're not married. That's it. But there was women that chose that were women of the night, women of Scarlet women. Nobody was going to marry them, but they were doing their thing. So if that's what you want to choose to do, do it with all your chest, full chest. Do it. Don't come and bring complications, bring kids into and that's the next generation. I think we need to start, and that's again I'm going to end with it. Men, even when these things happen, you separate, you break. Don't be so beaten and like they say, throw the bath water with the baby. Think about these kids, be there so that the next generation are gonna come. Because who is raising these men? Who is raising this? They're gonna get the same woman, and they're gonna indoctrinate them in this way. So men, fight, be there in this life of kids to make sure. Let's save the next generation. So relationship is actually good. When a man is made for a woman is made for a man. So let's start working towards that. Let's start rebuild it. But I think this generation is a lost generation. They can't be saved. So let's start working to save the next generation. I'll leave it at that. I wish you a happy weekend.